Hello, and welcome back to a rather somber episode of Hooky Hour, where our two lovely protagonists have decided to make their way to an observation tower within the mansion. But it seems like they have first stopped by a stained glass window. So, let's see what shenanigans we're gonna get into today. Woohoo! At the far end of that room were the stairs to the observation tower. The tale of the witch had piqued the white-haired girl's interest, inspiring her to put herself forward to satisfy that curiosity. She had, after all, been accused of being a witch herself, so she undoubtedly felt an affinity to the legend. What a sweet girl she was. Alright, up the stairs. This time it's like kind of bright out. I feel like the last time we saw that panorama of the stairs, it was very dark. With Michael in the lead, the two climbed a long spiral staircase. There were many more stairs than the white-haired girl had anticipated, and she soon found herself short of breath. Rectangular windows were carved out of the stone in regular intervals. Peering through one of them, windows, am I right? Also, dang, I am lit up. It's doing me a great favor. All right. Peering through one of them, she could see a village in the distance. A pleasantly cool, high-altitude breeze brushed across her face. After much climbing, they finally arrived at the top, where a door made of partially rotted wood stood. Dang, it was partially rotted, and this time too. Mitchell pulled open the door, revealing a small room with no windows or doors in sight. This is the top of the tower? Despite it being called an observation tower, you could hardly observe anything from there. Her face contorted in confusion, the white-haired girl threw her gaze about the room. Glancing up, she saw only a darkened ceiling, and slightly below it, a single small window through which shone a little ray of light. The beam cleaved through the darkness like the sharpened blade of a beautiful sword. I'm starting to get... Okay, this is a long time ago, so my memory may need to be refreshed, but wasn't there a story from, like, the first, well, story with Mel and Nell, where it's like, I think the white-haired girl said something about there being a fairy tale of some sort, where a daughter gets trapped in a room with only a single window. Is this coming back to that? I feel like it may be coming back to that. The darkness draped over the rest of the room only served to make more impressive that solitary ray of light. It had a magical fairy tale quality to it. As if being pulled in by it, she drew toward the light. I suspect there was once a large window in this room. If you look closely, you can see seams in the stone of the wall. The color of the stone differs slightly on either side of the seams. I presume something caused them to seal off the window after it was built, though I don't know what that something might be. Oh, hello. When Mitchell's eyes fell upon the white-haired girl wrapped in that beam of light, he sputtered to a stop. The man who never flinched at anything, who had long since distanced himself from such stirrings of the heart, was utterly bewitched. What a word, bewitched, in this situation. He had never seen her illuminated so vividly before, and he was having a great deal of trouble finding the words to describe her striking beauty. For someone who had been chased out of her home and accused of being a witch, The white-haired girl looked less like a practitioner of the dark arts, and more like one of the hosts of heaven. Mitchell undoubtedly felt the same way, for his gaze was affixed firmly upon her. Oh, she stared at me. Dazzling, isn't it? Like a staircase leading to heaven. Yes, perhaps so. Oh, is something the matter? No, I'm fine. This is not my first time talking to a girl. For your information. You know, it feels like there's something odd in the air here. It feels like someone actually might be listening. If the witch were to speak to you, what would you say to her? I would ask her to tell me her true feelings, to tell me what kind of person she was, and what kind of pain she had to endure. I just want to know what she felt. This woman people branded a witch. Oh, she might get her... Oh no, is she gonna get that wish granted? The legend was written from a neutral perspective. It's possible she was a fearsome witch. It's also possible she wasn't. I have the feeling she was just persecuted, like me. Like me and you. Unlike you, I truly am impure. Disagree all you want, but my touch kills. I'm a strange, incomprehensible, irrational creature. Or maybe I'm not even a living being, and that's why when I touch something that is, I bring them death. If only I actually were a witch. If only I had some kind of extraordinary power, regardless of whether it came from God or the devil. Then I would be able to grant people's wishes. My wish need not be granted. But it's what I want too. I wish to be able to touch you. I would be perfectly content with nothing changing, with us never being able to touch one another. I'd be more than happy with that. But I'm allowed to dream, aren't I? It doesn't have to be in this life. I pray the day will come that we can get closer, even if it has to happen in another life. Oh no, my god, no! This is the dream that's happening! This is the wish! Oh no, I think. I'm just... Because she shows up. She keeps showing up in all the stories. So, like, does that mean every time that... Oh no. Every time she's reincarnated, like, she finds... like, that era's equivalent of Michael? Oh no. I can't stand it. Happiness is very much a stranger to me, but am I allowed to dream too? You are. I will never touch you, I swear it. But I would like to dream about it. I would like to imagine placing my hand upon your cheek. You can. Reach your hand out for me. I will imagine it too. I am imagining your fingers running through my hair, brushing up against my skin. Just don't touch me. Ow, you pricked me. Ah! What's happening? Ah! I can feel your warmth. Your warmth doesn't spread poison, right? Your body heat? There is a wall between them, a wall they could not cross. For if they did, it would mean the white-haired girl's death. No matter how much they yearned for it, They could not touch one another, so they did so within the confines of their imagination. Nerds, envisioning it in as much detail as they could manage. Too much detail. It was sad but sweet, a moment of pristine, untainted beauty. The two of them emanated serenity, as fitting as the word cursed might have been to the mansion as a whole. At the top of the observation tower, a pure bond was being shared. A fleeting moment between a young man with a cursed touch and a kind-hearted, beautiful girl. The dream did not last long, no, for God is quite cruel. Oops, I tripped right into your hand. They simply wanted to be together, that was all. Their wish was hardly unreasonable. Only a quiet, peaceful life together. But misfortune was creeping ever nearer, its footsteps growing more and more pronounced. Oh, ominous. It's ominous. How's this final story gonna wrap up? I have to imagine something finds them. Uh-huh. A knock on the door. Is someone at the door? The flow of time was hazy within the mansion's walls. They had little way of telling whether it was night or day, preventing them from knowing exactly how much time had passed. The white-haired girl had made a habit of climbing the observation tower every so often to see whether the sun was up, which allowed her to approximate the time of day. Man, that would drive me crazy if I didn't know the time of day. Consequently, when she heard the knock on the door, she was not aware just how deep the night was outside, that forests and beasts alike lay quietly at rest. Or just seeing the sunlight in general. I need to see the sunlight. Don't keep me from it. Oh, right. The stores in the cellar are almost exhausted. It must be this month's delivery. Not thinking it was worth bothering Mitchell over, she made her way out of her chambers and headed for the entrance. There had only been a single knock, leading her to conclude that, as before, the servant had simply left the box outside the door. So without a second thought, she opened the door, and there she saw a strange, vagrant man standing in the moonlight. His clothes were tattered, his bearded face bony and emaciated. Ah! She gasped, shrinking back several paces. The heavy door began to swing shut, but the man forced it open, glaring down at her with unfocused eyes and mumbling, "Are ye the witch that will grant people's wishes?" It was in that moment that the white-haired girl realized she had been careless. The man had sought out the mansion because he believed the legend of the witch, and he did not seem particularly right of mind either. Perhaps a result of wandering through the forest for several days, or perhaps it was because he was so beaten down that he thought to ask for a witch's help. In a word, he seemed mad. No, there is no witch here. Sure there is. Don't ye lie to me. I can hear the witch's voice. She led me to this house. I promise you there isn't. Now please be on your way. Have ye any idea how long it took to find this place? How many days I've gone without food or water, and you're telling me to get lost? I don't know what you want from me. I'm happy to give you a little food, so please. Is there really no witch? There's no witch here. It's nothing but a legend. If she does exist, she doesn't live here. I see. That means you're just an ordinary person. Just a person, just a girl. So there ain't a thing you can do. Ah, jeez. Oh, okay. Alright, things are getting a little spicy. What I'm gonna do is call the episode here. And next time we pick up, we're gonna play it safe. I don't know how much I'll have to edit out, but that's okay. We'll edit it out. I'm going to assume there's a possibility that things are not safe for YouTube. So, and you know, just a general, what's the word? Just preemptive, just a preemptive, making sure nobody gets, no triggers go off or anything like that. So, next time on Hooky Hour, I'll see you then. Bye.